Howdy folks, I'm Pompous Peppermint, peppily parading through the pie party.
I'm Amber.
And here there are more pie parties for us to parade through. There's enough 3.14159 to go all around for everyone. And folks, we have a live stream coming up on Friday. For more information, please see the end of the video. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Asking My Sister Why Did Her Husband Leave Her If She Is Such a Perfect Wife and Mother? I'm a 30-year-old female and I had my first baby 8 months ago and am already back to work. I own several beauty salons with my husband and we both agreed that when our child was born that we would rely on the help of a nanny that we have known for years so that I can continue to work. Our baby boy is very happy. We, the parents, are also very happy and life is overall great. Well, last week, my sister, a 35-year-old female, came by our house to drop something off, and she just happened to come in when I was returning from work. Nothing out of the ordinary happened, and I assumed everything was all right. Yesterday, we went to our parents' place to have a cup of coffee and agree on some things for Christmas dinner, and my sister started making comments that she feels so bad that my husband and son are lacking the proper care and attention that a wife and mother should give to her family. She was telling this to my husband in front of me and our parents. I did not have a chance to say anything because my husband told her that he and our son are not lacking for anything and that asked her why she had gotten that idea. My sister explained that last week she came home to our house and I was just returning from work and she saw how I looked, that I had put on makeup, that my hair was done, that my nails were perfect, and it showed that I was very concerned about superficial things instead of being a good mother and wife. Husband said that her remarks are just plain dumb, since I have always been like this. This is part of my identity, and if I look good, then I'm concerned with my looks. It does not mean that I'm not a good wife or mother. My sister continued saying that as parents who have a boy, we should be concerned about the example that we give to him because he has to learn to appreciate women for other qualities other than looks. She even said that my husband has no idea what he's talking about because he doesn't know what he's missing out yet. I was already angry at this point, so I asked her if that was the case, then why did her husband leave her? She pays no attention to her looks based on her messed up ideas. She has all the qualities of a dedicated wife and mother, but still her ex-husband left her and it willingly wanted to miss out on her perfect butt. She started crying and shouting and Dad kicked her out. Mom was trying to make us both apologize, but Dad said that he was not having any of it and asked her to leave. Today, my sister sends me a novel explaining all the reasons why I'm the jerk. She claims that it was cruel of me to mention her ex-husband leaving her when she was just worried for her brother-in-law and her nephew. She claims that I'm the jerk because Dad kicked her out of the house yesterday and is taking my side. I have not responded to her messages yet because I am still angry. I admit that I may have been cruel to her, but she was insulting me, so she had it coming. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. Like, if this OP had said this, like, unprompted, that would have been a really cruel thing to say.
Yeah.
But I think given the context of what the sister was saying, and I understand this is coming from insecurity. She feels insecure because OP is the opposite of what she is. OP is a career woman who, dresses up in with fancy makeup and whatnot, which are probably things that, sister-in-law being a stay-at-home parent just feels drained and doesn't necessarily feel like doing. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that doesn't give her the license to then go ahead and critique OP and bash OP and act like she's somehow doing the OP's husband and son a favor.
Well, I mean, I think that's just it, right? I mean, the thing is that she is a different person than OP, and she is, just because OP pays attention to her looks doesn't necessarily mean that she's neglecting other areas of her life. If she is very proficient with putting makeup on, then it may not even take her that much time. I mean, I do know that some people spend hours a day putting makeup on, and maybe she was saying that OP could be spending those hours putting makeup on doing something else for the family. But again, they have a nanny, they have help at home, and it sounds like there isn't any issue with the amount of time that she's spending on doing her makeup.
Right. Well, and that's what matters is that the family unit as a whole is happy. And it seems like they're doing just fine. OP's husband has, asserted that like everything is fine and that sister-in-law doesn't need to say this. So for her to insist that, no, you just don't know what you're missing.
Yeah.
It was very like,
Well, what gives her the right to say what's best for OP's husband, right?
mm-hmm,
And again, like I could understand if the baby was unclean, like it
mm-hmm.
was unwashed, and there were like a lot of other issues why she might be raising concerns, but it doesn't sound like there are any issues like that where there's neglect present or anything like that. It just seems like she wants to rag on OP for whatever reason. Oh, before we do move on, what do you think about her cruel comment? Do you think her comment went too far?
I mean, I don't feel like that in given the context because it's very rich for someone to be like, I know the best way to be a wife and mother when their partner has left them. And that's not necessarily her fault. People leave for all kinds of reasons, but it also doesn't necessarily mean that she has the best insights into what keeps a relationship thriving.
Yeah, this one's hard for me because I feel like it was a little bit below the belt, but also what, if she can't keep her husband with the advice that she's doling out, then what makes her think that that will work for OP, right? And I mean, certainly, like every relationship is going to be different, every dynamic is going to be different, but it's very audacious of her to get up there and be like, you need to do these things.
Yeah, well, it just feels like she is trying to compensate for not being like OP by
Yeah,
bashing OP's
yeah.
lifestyle.
Remove the stick from your own eye before you remove the speck from someone else's. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Lost in RC says, not the jerk, because she opened the topic up for discussion. If we are not all allowed to out our opinions in on other people's families, then why was she insisting on doing exactly that? It's her standard that you were going by when she insisted on it. And Trailsy says, you're a bad wife and mother. And no, you are. Oh my goodness, that's such a terrible thing to say. I mean, I don't even feel like OP said that she was a bad mother. She just said, well, if what happened to your husband if you were following all this advice?
Right.
And the fixer, 123456, says, not the jerk. She opened up Pandora's box and you closed it. It reminds me of when my boss wanted me to travel a lot and gave me advice on how to manage my wife. I listened and then I responded, aren't you divorced twice? He laughed and said, never mind. And Miss Mantle says, well, at least he realized it. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Walking Out When My Girlfriend's Dad Tried to Test Me Like Some Kind of Job Interview? So I'm a 30-year-old male, and I've been seeing Maya, a 27-year-old female, for a little over 2 years now. Things are good between us, but her dad, he's not exactly my biggest fan. He's one of those guys who thinks that he needs to test me to see if I'm worthy of his daughter, and honestly, it's getting old. This weekend, Maya invited me to her parents' house for dinner. I didn't want to go at first, but Maya really wanted me there, so I agreed. It started off fine, but then, as usual, her dad starts with the comments. I'm a graphic designer, and he's always saying things like, is that even a real job? Or, what do you do? Just move things around on a computer all day? I was trying to brush it off, but things got worse when he asked me to help him in the garage. I thought that it was just going to be some kind of small thing, but then he handed me this ridiculously heavy toolbox and said, let's see if you can handle it. I told him that I wasn't dressed for it, but he just smirked and said, figures, you don't look like you do much manual work. It was like he was waiting for me to do something wrong. When we went back inside, things didn't get any better. Her dad made this kind of comment about how I probably don't even know how to fix a flat tire, and her mom joined in saying, bet you're the kind of guy who orders takeout every night, huh? The whole table laughed, and Maya was just sitting there kind of giggling along with them. At that point, I couldn't take it anymore. I snapped and I told her dad, I'm not here to prove anything to you. If I loved fixing cars, then I would be a mechanic, not a designer. I don't need a test to show if I'm good enough for your daughter. The room went dead silent. Her dad got all defensive, saying that I was being too sensitive, and Maya got upset with me as well. She said that I should have just gone with the flow and not made a scene. I couldn't handle it anymore. I just grabbed my stuff and then I left. Now Maya is barely talking to me, and I feel like maybe I went too far. But I just don't get why her dad can't respect me. All right, folks, what do you think of this one? Is OP dodging a bullet by having Maya not talk to him anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I think that OP is definitely not in the wrong here. He was just standing up for himself. I think it's time for him to start thinking about this, if this is the right relationship for him, because it sounds like his girlfriend has no problem with her parents putting him down and expects him to just accept that. And that's not, doesn't seem like a good relationship to me.
No, I mean, she should have put an end to it. She should have said that's not funny and then not giggled along with the
Mm-hmm.
comments. Like, I mean, sometimes I understand that laughing is an involuntary reflex, but she had to have believed there was some truth to it if she was laughing about it. And maybe OP does order takeout every night, right? Maybe OP can't fix a tire on the car. But, I mean, certainly, like, it's not a joke because it's more or less just basically, bullying him and, poking at him and being like, "Ah, look, you're ignorant and dumb in these kinds of ways."
Right. It doesn't really feel like it's, there's a time and place to have a constructive conversation with your partner if you
Yeah.
feel like they're not pulling their weight. But all they're doing is bullying, just ganging up on him. And either his girlfriend agrees with her parents or she just doesn't want to ruffle feathers, but it's her responsibility to deal with her parents.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Eeyore the Chaotic says, "Not the jerk, if she wasn't telling her dad to do one, then she's not the one for you." And OP replies, "Yeah, I guess you're right." Who said what now says, "Are you really going to want to continue with this relationship?" And OP replies, "I want to clarify it with her first if she doesn't understand my side." And Reddit After Dark 2 says, "Not the jerk, she sat there while you got humiliated and then she was upset when you stood up for yourself. You tried to remain respectful and I think that you did the right thing." And OP replies, "Yeah, man, that was the best thing that I could do." Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, "Am I a jerk for inviting our oldest daughter over for Christmas Eve dinner with the stipulation that her cheating boyfriend cannot join?" So I'm a 56-year-old female and my husband is 60. Our oldest daughter, a 30-year-old female, and our son, a 28-year-old male, and our younger daughter is a 26-year-old female. For privacy's sakes, we'll call the oldest daughter Kate, our son Sam, and the youngest daughter Mary. We'll call Kate's boyfriend James. So Kate has been with James for almost 3 years. They currently live together. We always had family get-togethers during the holidays, and he attended along with Kate. He always seemed very kind, polite, and mature and down to earth. His family is very nice too. He and Kate seemed so happy and seemed to click well. From what she shared, they had an excellent communication system and never really fought, and were just even discussing marriage. About 7 months ago, Kate told me that he had her ring finger measured at the jewelry store, and she was so excited, and so were we. Unfortunately, 4 months ago, I found out from a friend's daughter that he was having an online affair. Long story. The family informed Kate, and she apparently confronted James, and he broke down crying and gave her all the details. From what Kate shared, he gave her full disclosure, did not blame her for anything, took ownership, and is currently getting individual counseling. He wants to work through it, as she does. They're still together. She told me that he's going above and beyond to make it up to her. I cautioned her in case he does it again. She told me that he promised her that he wouldn't, and apparently he can't believe himself why he did it in the first place. He reached out to me and my husband to apologize to us, and he was in tears. Well, with Christmas Eve coming up, our usual family holiday dinner is approaching. It'll be me, my husband Sam, his girlfriend Mary, her husband, and hopefully Kate. I invited Kate, and I told her this year we can't invite James. She seemed very upset by this. Apparently, the past 2 months, they've been rebuilding things. They went on a long romantic getaway. James is still getting counseling, gives her undivided attention and support. She said that he acknowledged that it'll take a long time for trust to build back up. She told me that if she attends without him this year, that she'll feel like a third wheel among all the couples there. She said that by not inviting him this year, it feels like her family isn't willing to give him another chance like she is. I'm not sure what to do at this point. I've spoken with everyone else, and they're all on board with not inviting him. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, I do think OP is being the jerk here. The daughter was the person who was wronged in the situation, and as long as there is no reason to believe he will actively cause harm to anyone at the event, then it's really not OP's business.
Yeah.
Now, if the daughter didn't want him there, then it would be the right thing to do not to invite him. But it's not fair to punish her for her partner's mistake.
Yeah, I mean, and that's exactly what I'm thinking as well. I mean, this is one of those things where, he messed up, but they're trying to rebuild things and they're trying to, get back together. And it's going to cause a lot of resentment if they don't invite him along because they're going to, of course, view this as you not forgiving him. And the thing is that there's only really one person who needs to be, needs forgiveness here, right? I mean, only one person who can forgive him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's OP's daughter there, right? She was the one who was wronged, not OP.
Yeah, and it just, how long are you planning on keeping this up for too? Like, you say for this one Christmas, what if they get married or get engaged, or like, how long are you going to shun him from the family?
Yeah.
What if they have kids?
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Mango.
Man, go where?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Mango.
Mango who?
Man, go answer the door already.
Amber's like, I'm not going to do this all day. I'm just going to tell the punchline. And I have licorice spice. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy terrific Tuesday, spelled TWO. I hope your Tuesday is off to a terrific start.
Happy Christmas Eve.
Oh, and happy Christmas Eve. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it in the form of an inspirational quote.
Just do it. Ditch your unsupportive partners.
That works. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.